Folks, what is up? And welcome back to the Vol Talk podcast. You are here with Austin and Blake, and we are here to talk all things volunteer sports. This is an unscripted podcast about all things volunteer sports. But Austin, once again, today we are focused on football. Football is rolling. We are 2-0. Got a nice victory against a little cupcake ETSU yesterday. We're going to get into all that, set a program record for most points scored ever in the modern era. And Austin, the good times kept rolling, brother.
They did.
In week 2 of college football.
They sure did.
We had a fun week 1 because we won big, and then we had some fun hate watching. And brother, God is smiling on the Vols this college football season because once again in week 2, we had some wonderful hate watching. Down went the Gators to former Vols offensive coordinator Alex Galesh, and so down with the Gators in the swamp. And then of course the Nico situation just keeps looking worse and worse for UCLA. So, brother, once again, man, we got a lot to talk about, and it's all fun stuff.
Yeah, great win for us. We looked good. We'll get into all that. We'll focus on that on the show. Obviously, we'll focus on us because it's about us. But yeah, we got to get into the hate watches, man. Like I told you off camera, dude, it would be disingenuous if I didn't talk about it because I was on the couch cheering on Alex Golesh's South Florida against Florida, and then the Nico and UCLA stuff. It's just sad, man. I don't know if they have a win on their schedule. We'll see. But yeah, good day of college football.
Definitely a good day indeed. Fun for myself to wake up to it. Of course, most of the action is happening while I'm asleep these days due to my current time zone. But it was such a joy to wake up. Of course, you look at our score. Like you said, you got to start with us, right? And you see the 72 points. It's always a fun day when you see your score start with a 7.
Yeah,
a double-digit score starting with a 7. And then, you texted me and you said, bro, check it out. Look at the other scores. And people were joking about Golesh being able to knock off the Gators in the swamp. And then it went and happened. And sure enough, I look it up. They lose to South Florida. And then, of course, you look at Nico and UCLA. And like you said, it's just kind of sad at this point. Lost to UNLV. But once again, man, just a fun, and we're gonna have a little bit of tease for Alabama as well in this show. So we got plenty to talk about, brother. It is,
we do.
Of course, we got Georgia coming up this week, so we get it now. It's the real deal.
Hey, we're enjoying Saturday. We're enjoying Saturday today, and then we'll put our focus on Georgia. Okay, I get it. Georgia game's gonna be tough next Saturday. But we're enjoying this Saturday today, and then we'll move forward to Georgia.
Absolutely. So we're going to start right out of the gate with catching up in chat here. We got Daniel Hightower right out of the gate saying, "Go Big Orange." Welcome, Daniel, longtime listener, friend of the program. Daniel, we appreciate you. Once again, my wife jumping immediately in the chat saying, "Go Big Orange." Looking forward to this podcast today. Thank you, Rachel. And so, as always, folks, please jump in the chat. We're going to be just having fun with this conversation. That's what we always do. We always love chatting with you guys. So jump in there. If you're watching after the fact, drop us a comment. And then, of course, as always, baby, smash that like button. Look, Austin, there's a rumor going around, okay? And the rumor is that the people who watch this podcast without smashing the like button are actually secretly rooting for or wish Nico was still our quarterback.
Okay.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
Okay.
I understand if they don't hit the like button, they actually secretly wish Nico was still our quarterback. So, folks, I know that's not the truth. Smash that like button. We really appreciate the support. We've been growing like crazy, Austin. We are 640 subscribers. So also, if you haven't already subscribed, please do that. That would also help as well. We got Tennessee Rocky Top in the chat here saying, "I've been telling people Joshua Josephs is a problem." Austin, I'm sure we'll get into that with Joshua Josephs.
Most definitely.
and Tennessee Rocky Top joining with us in laughing at the fact that Nico is 0-2. He says crazy
Oh,
work.
we'll get into
Yeah.
that as well, Rocky Top.
We're going to get into the Nico stuff as well, no doubt. So, Austin, of course, like you said, we got to start with
We start with winners here. We start with
start
winners,
with the winners,
and we're winning.
We are big winning. We got to start with ourselves. That's what we care about. At the end of the day, it's fun to see Florida lose, fun to see Alabama lose, fun to laugh at the Nico situation. But at the end of the day, we care about the Vols winning, and we are 2-0. Austin, we won big against ETSU 72-17. Set a program record for most points scored, all-time scoring record with 72 points. And Austin, what's funny about that is I was actually, before we got on, I was just listening to our previous episode in the ETSU preview where I was listening to our score predictions to remind myself of what we predicted. And you said, you know what? I don't think we're going to drop 71, referring to the Kent State game that we were talking about from last year. You said, you know what? I don't think we're going to drop 71. And of course, the irony is that you were indeed correct. We did not drop 71. We dropped 72.
Yeah, I was wrong. I got that one wrong. You
got that one wrong. It was a program record 72 points. So, Austin, give us kind of an overview of how the game went.
Yeah, I got to shout out Ron real quick in the chat. He says, I can't even count to 72. I hear that, Ron. It was a lot of points, man. Yeah, dude, it was it was a fun game. Got to start with Aguilar. Well, I'll start with one of the coolest things I saw this week with Aguilar, which is his family in general, just showcasing his family. They were at Vol Talk. He embraced them at Vol Talk, and you could tell he was overwhelmed by Vol Talk. Blake, it was probably the most fans he's ever seen in a venue, and it was at our pregame. It wasn't even the actual game. And his family looked extremely happy. Multiple times they showed his family like crying in the crowd and stuff. It just said a lot, man. It said a lot considering how Aguilar got here, which is from Nico, and how his family handled being at Tennessee, which is it never seemed like there was an appreciation there. It never seemed like they were, happy to be here. And Aguilar's family couldn't be any different. To me, dude, it's the difference between a family who had to earn success and is now thankful for the moment, and versus a family who was given success or blessed with success and just became entitled to it. That's how I felt about the Aguilar family versus the Nico family. Just really cool to see his mom and his grandmother. I think the grandmother was having trouble getting over there, but they got her over there to the game, and she was really happy, dude. So had to start with that. That was awesome. And then Joey balled out for his family, dude. Balled out. He had a 93.9 passing grade from PFF yesterday. That would have been Nico's best game, by the way, last year. And apparently it was the highest graded game from a quarterback at Tennessee since PFF has been doing college grading, which I believe is 2014. So that was extremely impressive. And dude, I mean, he just continues to do what we expect him to do, Blake. Go through progressions, keep his eyes downfield in the pocket. He's gotten pressured, I believe, 14 times since the start of the season. I think 9 times against Syracuse and 4 times against ETSU. He's taken no sacks, 0 sacks. That's so important to people because, listen, sacks are sometimes on the O-line, but a lot of time it's on the quarterback, Blake. A lot of time it's on the quarterback for not making a decision, not getting rid of the football. And Joey has turned 0 of his pressures into sacks, man. That is extremely, extremely good. And it's something that we're going to need from him in SEC play. And then, Blake, I have to talk about the play of the game. This is the play of the game, in my opinion. Joey Aguilar rolls to his left, okay? Backyard football style, Blake, sends Mike Matthews deeper. He's literally pointing to Mike and he just says, go deeper, and then just chucks that thing. And Mike Matthews makes an absolutely gorgeous catch on the play. Man, it was fun to watch, man. It just seems like the offense is back. And for context, people, because, listen, we put up 71 against Kent State. You just mentioned that, Blake. For context, Nico in the Kent State game had a passing grade in the 60s. In the 60s, Blake. I mean, like, it's just, there's a difference in quarterback play this year, man. There just is. Aguilar has been so good. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see him going forward and, of course, against Georgia next week.
I am too, man. The optimism continues to climb, and chat is agreeing with us. Everyone's loving what we see out of Aguilar so far. Tennessee Rocky Top saying Joey Swagular, aka Joey Dimes, couldn't ask for anything more of him. So true. Vol Guy in the chat. Welcome, Vol Guy. I'm not sure if I've seen you in the chat before. If this is your first time, welcome to the Vol Talk podcast. Vol Guy says, I thought I was looking at a basketball score at first. And then later on, Vol Guy said, I think Joey will be our Hendon Hooker this year. Look out, dogs. Here we come. Go Big Orange. Absolutely love that as well. Because again, I agree, right? We talked about the comparison with Hendon Hooker. The star rating isn't there, right? The star power isn't there with Joey Aguilar, but he comes in, humble guy, leader, great player, comes in to Heupel's system. All of a sudden, he seems like he is thriving.
Yes.
So that is absolutely massive stuff. Dakota with an interesting stat here in the chat. What Tennessee Rocky Top says 700 total yards of offense is crazy. That is absolutely nuts. Indeed. But Dakota with an interesting stat here, Austin. He says Aguilar averaging 267 yards per game with just a game and a half played. Nico only hit that mark twice last year. Week 1 versus University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, and Kentucky. Nico averaged 201 yards per game. Still early, but what you guys predicted is happening. Austin, what do you think? What do you make of that? I mean, again, we get it. Okay,
Dude.
we can't say this enough. ETSU, Syracuse, got it. But the point is as Dakota just pointed out, Nico only hit that against Kentucky and Chattanooga last year. I mean, come on.
And and listen, I get the competition does matter, Blake, but I don't think it matters in the context of have we upgraded at quarterback, because look at what we looked like at quarterback against lower level competition last year. That's the fair comparison. We haven't got the answer of how do you look against elite competition. By the way, Nico was awful against elite competition last year. I mean, his worst 2 graded games were Georgia and Ohio State. So, and like, again, that's a question with Joey. It's not, we don't know the answer yet. It's a question. So we have to see it happen. But dude, I mean, it's night and day, man. It's fun to watch this offense again. I'll have to see what the chat says, but at times last year, it was awful watching this offense play, Blake. It was brutal.
Yep.
I mean, it was absolutely brutal at times. It is fun to watch this offense again, man. The deep ball's there. Joey hits the easy stuff as well. It's not like he's just forcing it downfield all the time, Blake. That was something I also worried about in Heupel's offense. Would Joey just force it downfield? No, he's taking his shots when they're there. He's taking the shots when they're there and giving his guys an opportunity to catch it. One other thing, Blake, through 2 games, okay, at Tennessee, Joey has 0 turnover-worthy plays. Once again, for the new listeners of our podcast, turnover-worthy play is a metric PFF uses for their quarterback grading, and it's basically, did you throw it to the defense, or did you fumble it away to the defense? And is it your fault? Because not all interceptions are quarterback's fault, right, Blake? If a ball gets batted up by the receiver, then a cornerback picks it, that's not a turnover-worthy play. Well, Joey has 0 through 2 games. In his App State career, Blake, he only had 1 game in 2 seasons where he had 0 turnover-worthy plays. I mean, dude, that is extremely notable. And again, throw the competition out. He played ETSU last year at App State, and he threw a turnover-worthy play. There is something to Josh Heupel's system, man. The quarterbacks just don't turn the ball over. And I think Joey also developed. He got better after another year of playing FBS Division I football. So, I mean, again, dude, it is 2 games. It's not the best competition, but that's notable, dude. I mean, we're talking about 2 games, 0 turnover plays, only 1 game in his App State career where he had 0, man. That's insane.
And that's the big question mark we still had about Joey Aguilar was the turnovers, was, how many interceptions is he going to throw? And so obviously it's going to change once we start playing SC defenses, but the comparison is there. What we've already seen is better than what we saw from Nico. And so we are certainly sitting on an upgrade right now. Vol Guy makes a great point in the chat. He says Joey can read a defense. Nico couldn't read a Dr. Seuss book. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely true. Nate V in the chat says, go Big Orange. Welcome, Nate. Folks, listen, we appreciate everyone jumping in the chat here. If you have a friend who enjoys Vol football or is a sports fan, share the stream with them. Get them in here in the chat. We love this conversation that we've got going on here. Ryan Austin makes a good point too. He says the only thing that can stop Tennessee's offense is dropped passes. Clean that up, and we are unstoppable. I think there was probably about 4 drop passes Aguilar had this game.
It was rough.
So there are still a few drop passes that we gotta clean up.
Kitzelman had a crucial one on third down, Blake, and then Deshaun Bishop, who by the way continues to look really, really good. But man, he dropped 2 passes in this game. Dakota, I was watching the game with Dakota in the chat here, and he was calling for Bishop to put on some gloves, man. He rocks the no glove look. He was calling for Deshaun Bishop to throw on some wide receiver gloves so he doesn't drop these passes.
Yeah, and I think Deshaun Bishop was asked about that recently, and he said something to the effect of he's here to play football. It's all business, right?
Yeah.
He's like, he's not here to look good.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that kind of mentality from him. But
you gotta catch the ball.
If you need some stickum, brother, get some stickum going on. We got to catch that ball for sure. Let's see here. Tennessee Rocky Top saying Nico couldn't even read his name. Tennessee Junior, Tennessee JR in the chat. I think this is the first time I've seen you, Tennessee JR, or Junior, however you prefer me to pronounce it. Welcome to the Vol Talk podcast. He says, so much fun we got to play off despite Nico that he who will not be named, as he says. Absolutely. We got to the playoffs last year despite the quarterback play. And so Austin this year, again, we're going to learn a lot this week with Georgia, but man, now that we've got actual good quarterback play again, this offense seems to be firing again. So I really think that the playoffs could be in our future once again this season. So go ahead, Austin.
And Blake, I mean, listen, Aguilar was fantastic, and we just got done talking about him. But dude, one other notable part of this team right now is this offensive line is different, man. This is not the same offensive line as last year. It's just not.
Yes.
And listen, the competition. Let's just have the competition caveat and asterisk on the show, but it's very, very much improved from last year, dude. Pass blocking wise, in particular, Joey had all day to throw, dude. I mean, all freaking day to throw, pretty much the entire game. And specifically, gotta shout out our boy Lance Hurd, highest graded pass blocking lineman from this game. Lance Hurd is getting better, people. Lance Hurd is on the up and up. Listen, he just is, Blake. He's getting much better, and it is ETSU, and next week is the big game, but I'm very, very happy with his play so far. And then Jesse Perry, man, and I got to shout out Rick. I don't know if Rick is in here. Rick was putting us on Jesse Perry, man. I didn't see Jesse Perry coming. Like, I didn't see him breaking out this year. Jesse Perry has been probably our best offensive lineman. And remember, Blake, he was supposed to play guard, but since David Sanders is still out at tackle, he was moved to tackle like a week before the Syracuse game, and he has looked really, really good. He had the best overall grade for an offensive lineman, really good run blocking grade. So I've been extremely impressed with Jesse Perry so far.
Awesome stuff. In terms of a start to the season, right? We can talk about the asterisk all day long. The competition, got it, right? But we're starting how we want to start. It's what we want to see. This is what you expect out of really good teams, is being able to put up 72 against ETSU. And someone made the point in the chat earlier that it was like even our third string offense scored like 40 something points, 42 points, right? We want to see out of a team with the appropriate amount of depth in order to play really well in a season and compete for the playoffs. And, to that point, Dakota makes a great point saying, hey, it's a very small sample size, but McIntyre outplayed Merklinger, which is notable. That's interesting, Austin. We did see McIntyre, again, third string offense, still putting up great, amount of points. So that's the kind of thing you want to see out of a team, is have that kind of depth, right? I mean, it's better than the alternative, which used to be that, hey, okay, maybe we would win our cupcake games, but we wouldn't be able to score 72 against them because we just didn't have that much depth.
Yeah, and dude, the depth piece is a great point, Blake, because I know you didn't get a chance to watch since you were asleep, but dude, our backups look like a Division I football team, and it's not just the way they're playing. The look, bro. Our backup tight, dude. We have a true freshman tight end. I gotta shout him out. I have him in my game notes here. He has a tough name to say. It's like Jack Van something. I really can't say his last name. Number 3. Okay, dude stood out immediately, bro. True freshman, he looked like he was 40, Blake. It was nuts, dude. The guy is absolutely jacked, and he's like our 5th string tight end, dude. It was insane. Like I could tell just by the looks of the players, dude. Just by the looks of the players, the recruiting's getting better here. The recruiting and the development and the strength and conditioning, it's getting so much better. And it's like you said, dude. It's night and day from really the past 10 years, basically since Phil Fulmer. I mean, that's how bad the depth has been for so long at Tennessee. And man, I was just so impressed with a lot of backups. I agree with Dakota. McIntyre really only got one drive, Blake. He really only got one drive to work the offense. But dude, he did it at a very high level. He looked extremely comfortable in the pocket, despite playing behind the backup offensive line. Merkingler was impressive at times, but he was more panicky in the pocket. He bailed on a lot of pockets. Just didn't look as comfortable, Blake, and was pretty inaccurate. I mean, Brazel kind of bailed him out on the touchdown throw. A really great play by Brazel. And then Merklinger, I believe on his first play, threw it right to a corner or so, and it was dropped. But anyway, I thought they both ran the offense pretty well. But McIntyre is interesting, dude. If he gets some meat on those bones, if he fills out that frame, because the frame is there. I mean, he's 6'6". The frame is there. It's just he's not built enough for it, right? Like he's like 150 pounds right now. But dude, you can see the arm talent though. I mean, it jumps out of his arm and it's accurate. It's tough. It's only one drive against ETSU, but I agree. McIntyre could be the future. And I was impressed with him. And again, I was just overall impressed with just the looks of the backup, man. Like if you just show me the backups, I'm like, oh yeah, they're Division I football players starting somewhere, like it looked like a Georgia backup team or an Alabama back. Like that's how it looked, which is really good to see. Speaking of backups, Blake, I'll shout out a couple of the receivers since we're kind of talking a little receiver here. Rodarius Jackson, true freshman, looked really good, dude. He stood out to me in Dakota. He looked really good. He was making a ton of plays. And then, so I really only have him to shout out. But yeah, that was, good performance. And then I also kind of going back to the starters a little bit, if you don't mind, Blake. Star Thomas, people are shouting him out in the chat. Yep. Chat's gone pretty fast here. We're going to have trouble keeping up with this chat. But Star Thomas looked really good in this game, dude. Our stable of running backs, if Deshaun can catch the ball, this stable of running backs could be elite, dude. Like, could be elite, which I know you'd love to see.
Oh, I love to see it. Absolutely. Saw some big numbers from our stable of running backs this game. And, looking like we're going to have a good rotation of those guys in the backfield, and definitely love that. Definitely love that dog mentality. Our thumbnail, in fact, is Peyton Lewis just absolutely murdering a young man. I didn't realize murder was legal in Neyland Stadium on Saturdays, but apparently it is. But huge stuff from our starters and our depth. And again, it's where we want to be because it's not happened in the past during the dark ages, as we'll call them, of Tennessee football. It's not what we were, what we saw, what we were used to. And it also speaks to the fact that we are now within that blue chip ratio, right? Or the blue chip percentage where we've got 50% is exactly. You've got at least 50% of those 4 or 5 star guys. And it does matter because as you said, it's what the teams who are winning championships, what they have. So like you said, Austin, chat is moving at breakneck pace here. We may not be able to keep up with every chat, but we appreciate you guys chatting with each other. We'll keep up with it as much as possible. Shout out to Jace in the chat. Jace Thomas is in here again, a Buckeye fan, but he has adopted the Vols as his second team. Welcome back, Jace. in the chat. Let's see here. Tennessee Junior talking about GMAC outplaying Merkslinger. Everyone's pretty high on McIntyre. Nate V in the chat here. And then Sam Schrock hitting us with the pronunciation guide. Appreciate that, Sam Schrock.
Yes.
Door Solaire.
Y'all got to learn his name, dude, because that dude's gonna play. Trust me. Looking like that as a true freshman, he's gonna be a problem, Blake.
I love to hear that because, again, I want this physical football style of football. Nate says this defense would be so much better if the D-line got healthy, missing Jordan Thomas. Austin, that might be a decent segue. I know there's so much to talk about on the offense, but I did want to get your thoughts on the defense. Because even Josh Heupel, I think, said, that he thought the defense was a little sloppy. Well, at least that's what he said coming out of the first half.
Dude, he was pissed coming out of the first half. Like, we're up 48-7, and Heupel looked like he wanted to make him do wind sprints at halftime. He was not happy whatsoever. And you know what I think was really upsetting him, and this was the last thing I'll talk about on offense, was this bad snap. So the bad snap that happened right before the half that led to the touchdown, Blake, Pendleton has to get the snaps under control because that one was really, really bad. Aguilar didn't even have a chance at it. I felt like Aguilar could have jumped on the snap, could have jumped on the fumble, but he was trying to make a play with it. I think that really irritated Heupel right before the half. But yeah, defensively, man, it's very hard to take away a ton since the competition level. But notably on the D line, since Nate V's shouting out the D line, Josephs looks like a problem. Like, he looked like a problem against Syracuse. He continues to look like a problem. It looks like he's gotten better at rushing the quarterback, which is really important. He was an elite running defender last year. If he can rush the passer this year, dude, that's gonna be our guy. That's our go-to guy. What I want, Blake, though, is someone to break out beside him. Like, I want somebody on the other side to break out. I was calling for Jordan Ross. Tyree West is a good situational pass rusher. They both played well in this game. Jordan Ross, he only had 5 pass rush snaps, Blake, but he won 3 out of his 5 reps, according to PFF. 60% win rate. That's really, really good. He also looks like a beast in the run game, which he did against Syracuse. Blake, remember, he made that big play in the Syracuse game in the run. So Jordan Ross is the guy I'm looking at, dude, because he was like a top 10 recruit coming out of high school. Like, those are the kind of guys you want to hit on, man. Like, if he's that highly rated, a 5-star at such an important position, that's probably the most important position on defense is edge rusher, Blake. I want to see a guy like that break out. I do. And to Nate's point in the chat, dude, he's right. The health has been a problem. We've had, we're down to like our 3rd string defensive tackle. And it's only week 3. So that's kind of unfortunate. And he's shouting out Hobbs. Hobbs got injured before the year, Blake, and then Jackson Moy went out. Now, hopefully, Moy didn't seem serious, so I'm hoping he'll be available for Georgia, but you never know with the injury report, man. You listen, don't ask Heupel about injuries. You'll know if they're playing on Saturday or not. Like, if they're out there, they're playing. Yeah. Otherwise, you just won't know beforehand. It's hard to guess. So, but yeah, I thought the D-line looked good. And then quickly, the only thing I have for starters on defense, the only other things I have, Blake, is Colton Hood watch, right? Colton Hood and Ty Redmond, the 2 starting corners, dude. I believe you called Colton Hood your breakout player on defense, or maybe even defense player of the year. I can't remember before the season, but we were calling the Colton Hood breakout, and it continues, man. So Colton Hood and Ty Redmond were the 2 highest graded corners. No surprise from PFF. They had a combined 7 targets. They only gave up 2 catches for 13 yards. Colton Hood was only targeted twice, Blake, and his 2 targets, both were pass breakups. That dude can play, man. He is physical, and they're letting them play man coverage as well. They're really manning them up on the outside and say, hey, you got this. Like, put Colton Hood on an island. And dude, and Ty Redmond, true freshman, Blake, it's nuts. It's nuts, dude. And like, remember, we're talking before the season, it's like, oh, it's Ricky Gibson and Jermod McCoy and Boo in the slot. And it's really not been that. It's because they're both hurt. And now we have Ty Redmond and Colton Hood. So really excited to see what they can do. And we need it, man. We need it next week especially. We're going to need that play.
We're going to need that level of play, and we're going to need, hopefully, some of these folks that have been injured, as Chat's talking about, on defense, on the D line, of course, Jermon McCoy in the backfield or in the secondary. We need these folks to be healthy against Georgia next week or this coming week. The week is here, my friend. The
Yeah,
Georgia
it's
week
here.
is here. We are officially in Georgia, so in Georgia week. So we definitely need those guys to get healthy again. Chat continues to go through here. Ryan says others have a two-headed monster in the backfield. We have a three-headed monster in the backfield. Talking
Yes.
about the running backs. Love that. Absolutely. Sam Schrock says most balanced team of the Heupel era, going to put it to Georgia. What do you think about that, Austin? In terms of
Yes.
last year it was the defense that carried us, and of
And the
course
running
the
game.
run game and the running game, and then before that, obviously in 2022 it was
Hendon.
offense heavy. The defense was lackluster. Do you think this might be just really the most balanced team that we've had under Heupel so far?
Love that chat, dude. I love that point. Because the balance is all around, right? It's I think it's going to be at worst a solid defense this year. Is it going to be as good as last year's? I don't think so. But you never know. When we get healthy again, you never know when you get Jermon McCoy back in this lineup. So
Right.
it could end up being as good as last year. But offensively, yes, there's total balance, man. Total balance. The run game is electric and the pass game is electric. And that's just it's never really been the case, Blake. It's either been one or the other, right? In 2022, it was very pass heavy. It was very vertical, pass game heavy. But in last year, it was basically Dylan Sampson dragging Nico to the playoffs. Cannot
Right.
emphasize that enough. Every day that goes by, I realize, my Lord, do we need a Dylan Sampson statue? I mean, he absolutely dragged that kid to 10 wins. Anyway, we'll get into that more later, Blake. But yeah, dude, it is extremely balanced right now. I love the balanced attack, and I've always been really irritated with all the analysts that want to be the smart guy in the room on TV, Blake, that are like, this is really a running offense. Y'all are calling it a passing offense, which has literally not been a narrative for like 3 years, but they keep bringing it up like people are still saying it. Well, the buddy, you might be right. Maybe we ran the ball the last 2 years. The offense sucked the last 2 years, dude. It was terrible.
Right.
We need both. We need both. We need the balance
Right.
that they're talking about in chat. Because I mean, without Dylan Sampson last year, would we have scored a point? I really don't know. But you want that balance, man. You want that balance, and it looks like we finally have that year or have it this year with the three-headed running back monster that Ryan's talking about. And Joey Aguilar, man. Joey Swagular, as some people are terming it.
Joey Swagular, man. Finally, we've got a quarterback making quick decisions, getting the ball downfield. This balanced offense that Sam shouted out that we're talking about. Love to see it. And the balanced team in general. Defense was a little sloppy against ETSU at times, right? We would love for it to have been 72-0, but hey, you got to throw a bone to your local East Tennessee school. Again, as we said in the last live episode, we're hoping maybe ETSU can kind of pull themselves up by the bootstraps and become our true in-state rival. We need a true in-state rival. We don't have one currently, so I would love to see.
We're taking applications.
We're taking applications. I would love for the East Tennessee State Buccaneers to become that. I don't know what it is with this state and naval mascots, the Commodores, the Buccaneers. Every school that wants to be like the Volunteers, for some reason, they're all going for this naval theme. But Buccaneers, come on, man. We'd love for you to be the in-state rival. But took care. So we were a little sloppy on defense, threw him a bit of a bone. But overall, great stuff that we saw, especially from the offense, Austin. Any other thoughts on either the offense or the defense or just in general on the game before we head into our other bonus sections for today?
I am excited about the bonus sections, Blake. I'll be honest. I am excited about those. I will say, man, Cade McNamara, the ETSU quarterback, he was playing now. He was throwing some good balls because a lot of it against the starters, a lot of their production was like, man, they had hit a downfield pass, but it was really good coverage. Like the guy was right there. I mean, there was one where I think it was Colton Hood or it might have been Ty Redmond. Actually, I think it was Redmond now that I'm thinking about it. But anyways, Cade threw a perfect back shoulder out on the sideline, and it was like, dang, I mean, you literally can't do anything like about that as a corner. I mean, you're right there, you're in the receiver's grill, but I mean, quarterback just made a better play. So, got to give ETSU a little credit. They did fight hard. Very undisciplined team though. They had like what felt like a million penalties. And Blake, I'm going to shout out a group of individuals that you appreciate. The special teams. Special teams was fun this game because they had Boo
Wow.
Carter back there returning punts. And listen, I hope we can move past all the Boo Carter stuff and somebody changes Boo Carter's mom's Facebook login or something because
Oh,
Boo
God.
deserves to be in Tennessee. He belongs here, man. And he is such a playmaker. He's electric with the ball in his hands. And he was once again electric as a punt returner, dude. Almost took like 2 back. The one was real close where he stepped out at the 4 and then like jumped into the end zone. Blake, it was fun to watch him back there as a punt returner.
Yeah, definitely need to get his mom off Facebook. Unfortunately, that seems to be a weird situation, but love to see the awesome play from Boo Carter in the punt return as well. Catching up on chat a little bit here. Again, chat continue to shout out certain guys, both on offense and defense. Tennessee Junior shouting out Ross and West, doing pretty well. They'll get there. He says they'll get there with Coach G molding them. Robinson can ball if he stays healthy, says Tennessee Junior. And then Vol Guy says Ty and Hood will be our dogs on defense. So
Agreed.
Definitely have great players on defense. Just need to put a complete game together on both offense and defense against Georgia, because obviously there's going to be very little room for error, Austin, come this Saturday. So, and Paul Guy shouting out the 53-yard field goal. Props.
Yes.
Hey, man.
We got a good
Press
kicker.
the kicking game, baby.
Yes.
Got a good kicker. Love to see it. Love to see it. Nate V says Tennessee, Mr. Football, way too talented to use Colorado clout. I guess talking about Colton Hood. So yeah, love to see that. Austin, let's. I'm pretty excited about getting to our bonus section. So the ETSU game was fun. We're 2-0. That's where you want to be. But folks, the fun didn't stop there this football weekend.
It did not.
We had too much fun the rest of Saturday. So before we get into it, folks, please, as always, go ahead and like the video if you haven't already. Share the video if you got a friend who loves Vol football, brother, sister, whatever. And then, of course, subscribe if you haven't already. But stick around because we've got some fun stuff to talk about. And Austin, the first thing that we've got to talk about is last week we had a great segment for Bama hate because Bama went down to Florida State.
They did.
And now this week, brother, it's like, how perfect is it that Bama loses the first 2 weeks and now Florida loses in the swamp to South Florida? Alex Golish, our former offensive coordinator, which, obviously you love to see that from a former Heupel guy, a guy who who coached under Heupel. He looks like Austin, I think probably by next year, he's going to be in the SEC head coach, within probably 2 years,
yes,
at least he'll probably be coaching
Agreed.
in the SEC or somewhere big. He looks great. So you love to see that, but man, Gators lose in the swamp to South Florida, Austin. This was the week that everyone is supposed to take care of their cupcakes.
Yep.
Our rivals, the Gators, and Billy Napier couldn't get it done. Talk us through it.
Well, Blake, the only thing I'm disappointed with this game is that Billy Napier is going to get fired now. That's my only disappointment coming out of this game, dude. I'm so disappointed. Yes. They're going to fire Napier. That's the problem. I want Napier to hang around. I want him to be there for 10, 15 years. You know what I'm saying?
We were hoping they were going to lock him into a lifetime contract. Honestly, listen, Florida, if you're watching, it wasn't Billy's fault.
Give him another year.
Give him another chance. It wasn't his fault. Golish is just a really good coach, okay? Give him honestly, if I were you, you might go ahead and lock him into a lifetime contract.
Yeah.
Okay, Billy Napier is a really good coach. Just lock him in.
Listen, man, it's and the Florida thing, it's like I don't really want to kick a man while they're down, dude. They've sucked the last 5 years. They're terrible. They're really, really bad, dude. And It's another one where I feel like I have to take a victory lap, dude. I do, because on camera, off camera, Dakota can vouch for this more than anyone, because I was literally telling him all off season that the DJ Lagway hype is out of control, dude. The DJ Lagway hype was totally out of control. I didn't feel like it was justified a year ago, and then the off season people are talking Josh Pate, called him the best quarterback in the SEC. It's like, dude, what did you watch? Did you watch the cupcake that he tore it up against? Like, because that to me last year was his best performance, was his first start, and it was against a nobody opponent, man. I've never understood the DJ Lagway thing. He doesn't look like an elite athlete. I can see the arm talent, but the accuracy isn't always there. And his TD to interception ratio last year, not a stat I love to use, but it was really bad. It was like 12-9 or something like that. I and listen, I didn't know he was going to be this bad. I mean, you put up 16 points against South Florida, man. I mean, that is pathetic, dude. I mean, it's just straight up pathetic. And I gotta shout out Alex Golish, because it was a listen. I'm rooting for Alex Golish. I've rooted for him since he's left Tennessee, and he's done some great things. I mean, he's fought Bama hard a couple times, which I mean, how much do you want to celebrate that? But he did that. He almost beat DeBoer's Alabama, and then he finally got himself a big win, dude. It's huge. I'm just slightly upset with him for getting Napier fired. Like, I feel like a 7-5 season for Napier would have got us one more. But Blake, their upcoming gauntlet, it's done, man. They got Texas coming up. They got at LSU next week, or maybe they play at home against Texas. Either way, I believe their next 3 games is at LSU, at Miami, and then versus Texas. Those are 3 straight L's. I mean, Florida is probably not going bowling, dude. And I'm genuinely not trying to be funny right now. Their schedule is brutal. So this South Florida game was pretty crucial for the rest
It was a
of the
must
season.
win.
It was a must-win game, and they did not get that memo, bro. They did not get the memo that this is a game that you cannot lose. And listen, and again, I don't want to kick a man wise down. I have to say though, I'm nervous, man. We have to beat them in the swamp this year. It is crucial that we beat Florida in the swamp this year, man. If Alex Golish can do it with the undermanned South Florida, then we have got to get that monkey off of our backs this season, Blake.
Have to. Absolutely critical that we can't, especially now on the Vol Talk podcast, right? We can't be talking crap and then us go down there and lose in the swamp. So you obviously Florida is beatable. The only thing that worries me is by that point in the season, they're going to have nothing to lose, nothing else to lose. And they're going to be, playing out of their mind because it's Tennessee and they're going to have lost every other game, but then they'll, as always, play out of their minds against us. So, but yeah, I am a little upset like you that, it's looking like Napier's not going to get very much more time. Fans are already looking at his buyout. What's his buyout? I think I saw it's like 85% of his current contract. Not happy with Billy Napier. Austin, in fact, I saw a message going around social media on a Florida forum that a Florida fan, apparently his wife had recently been deported, and he said that he was still more mad at Billy Napier than ICE. It's a pretty, it's pretty rough for those Florida fans down there,
Gainesville, man. What is going on in Gainesville, bro?
That's what going on down there.
That's what
is going on down there.
It's tough, man. It's tough times.
They are pretty upset at Billy Napier. So not a good place to be for Napier, not a good place to be for Florida, but hopefully that's good news for us going down into the swamp for sure.
Last thing, Blake, please, Alex Golish, do not take the Florida job, man. I will be devastated.
Oh God, I know.
I will devastated. I don't know. I don't expect. Listen, if he gets an SEC offer, take it, man. I get it, and I won't be mad at him. But dude, I want to root for you a little bit. I pretty much don't root for anyone in the SEC, but especially Florida. Please, anywhere but Florida. Anywhere but Florida.
Yeah. It's all, and of course we don't want to have to play him because he's a dang good coach. Yeah, please don't go to Florida, even though you just got their coach fired. Gonna catch up on the chat real quick here. Jay says Bama burns. We're gonna talk real quick. We gotta get in a little bit more Bama. Hey, Austin,
We do.
a funny segment on that real quick. Matt SS in the chat. Good Sunday, Fanatics. What a heck of a day yesterday. Absolutely. Let's see here. Nate V calling him Sunbelt Billy. Brian says go start a GoFundMe for Billy Napier's lifetime contract.
Yes, I will donate, Ryan.
Yes, I will immediately donate. Matt SS saying Florida fans were chanting "Fire Billy" at the stadium after the game. Not looking good at
Times
all.
in Gainesville, man.
Yeah, tough times indeed. Go big damn orange. I think this is the first time I've seen you in chat. Maybe, but go big damn orange.
Love it.
Love the name. Welcome to Vol Talk Podcast. Does the O line looks great, but the center needs to lock it up with that snap over Joey's head for 6 going the other way. Go big orange. Austin, yeah, I mean, I think, definitely not a good play that you want to have. Definitely need to clean up that kind of play on the O line there. Let's see here. Nate says, I did think he was playing well against Georgia last year before injury. And then let's see here. Nate says he doesn't trust 5-star QBs anymore. That's fair indeed. Matt SS says that y'all should have watched the Mississippi State versus Arizona State game. Was an awesome game.
I did.
Austin, I heard that they won that game, didn't they? Mississippi State.
Did.
And I think they tore down their goalpost, didn't they?
They did. They rushed the field for beating Arizona State, which is, that's something.
Well, no comment on that piece, right? Ryan says fried gator in Baton Rouge coming this weekend. And then Dakota saying Golish almost beat Saban as well. Yeah, Austin, you mentioned that. He almost beat Saban, USF. Let's see here. Just looked more disciplined than Florida. You have players dancing while losing to USF and watching their Jalen Carter tape spitting on guys. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. And listen, just to add, I guess I will kick a man while he's down. That's a Florida thing, man. That's Florida football has always played like that, acted that way. It really doesn't matter who their coach is. There's something about that campus that just, outside of Tim Tebow, doesn't produce the best individuals out of that school.
It does not. Quite a history from Florida of not the best individuals, indeed. Possibly
and Tebow can't weigh it all out, Blake. Tebow can't weigh it all out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, we got to take accountability.
Exactly. You can't just keep riding that Tebow wave because
come on,
you have actual legitimate murderers who are former players. So
serial
not great for Florida. Serial murderers, indeed. Nate V, this is hilarious. Also, I got to shout out this chat. Nate V says, Bama woman said if she won the lottery, she'd get DeBoer fired and then donate to the church.
Dude, she did say that. That clip's real, Blake. She said if she won the Powerball for $2 billion, the first thing she's doing is buying out DeBoer's contract.
Dude, that is hilarious. She got her priorities straight. Donate to church and then
it's
buy out
Alabama football and then donate to the church. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. That's SEC football, man.
That is SEC football. And then Go Big Damn Orange says first live chat subbed last week. Good show, guys. Really appreciate the support. Go Big Damn Orange and everyone in the chat. We love chatting with you guys. We love having this conversation with you guys, especially fun stuff like this, Austin. It gets real this week with Georgia. It's going to get real. But right now, man, it is too fun sitting here with our fellow Vols fans in chat, even some non-Vols fans, right? Some fans who have adopted the Vols as their second team like Jace and so on and so forth. It's fun stuff. Just taking these victory laps, man, against the Gators and some other folks, Austin. Any other okay, so before we get to our final segment, which y'all got to stick around for our final segment. Before we get to that, we gotta touch on this piece about Alabama, okay? So folks, if you haven't already, go check out our segment on Alabama, the Alabama dynasty being dead. Okay, we dropped that video.
We declared it dead.
We declared it dead a few days ago. Go check out that video. It's a really fun clip. Austin had an all-time rant on the Vol Talk podcast. I loved it. But Austin, Alabama played their cupcake this week.
They did.
in ULM. Now, for the folks who are normal college football fans, like any other normal college football fan, you may not know what ULM stands for. That's University of Louisiana Monroe. Now, Austin, listen, if we have some listeners from Monroe, Louisiana, please let me know in the chat, because I legitimately didn't know Monroe, Louisiana existed. In fact, I still have my doubts. Okay. In
We
fact,
have
we
no
wouldn't know
evidence it
that
does.
we have no evidence it does. We wouldn't even know that the school existed if not for the fact that they beat Nick Saban in his very first year at Alabama, right?
Correct.
However, that was Alabama's opponent this week, and Austin, they took care of business, but enlighten us on how they went about celebrating that victory.
So they did take care of business. They did, which, good job. You beat ULM. You were 40-point favorites at home. You beat ULM. Well, they posted on Twitter, the Alabama football page. This isn't a fan football page, Blake. This is the Alabama football page.
Yep.
Posted the final score, and the caption was, "Still Bama." That was the caption. Still Bama. After beating ULM. That's genuinely, listen, you can say what you want losing to South Florida. It's very embarrassing, but at least they have Alex Golesh as coach, and he has them fighting hard. That's the most embarrassing thing of the weekend. Posting still Bama after beating ULM at home. Like, they were 40-point favorites. 40 points. And you said still Bama. I was flabbergasted. And I immediately pointed out the irony of this to Dakota. I said, this is the least Alabama thing to do ever. The irony of it is that you're celebrating a Louisiana Monroe victory when during the Nick Saban era, Blake, do you think that would have ever happened?
Never would you sell. In fact, Saban would probably get in that post-game press conference and still be pissed. They won, what was it, 72-0 or whatever, and he'd still be pissed because they didn't play a perfect game. But then you're celebrating and you're acting all bricked up. Oh, we're still Alabama after beating Louisiana Monroe. Again, I couldn't point out Monroe, Louisiana to you on a map. I couldn't do it, Austin. I couldn't do it. And you're celebrating.
But you're still Bama victory after beating a team you're 40-point favorites against? That's just, I bookmarked the post, man, and I'll be revisiting the post when they lose 4 or 5 games this year. That's just, it's genuinely it's out of everything that happened this weekend, it is the most embarrassing thing that happened was the social media post from the Alabama football account that says, "We're still Bama after beating ULM." Embarrassing, dude. Get your crap together.
Absolutely tone deaf. I mean, you got to be, whoever's running their social media, you got to be smarter than that. And look,
read the room.
Read the room. We are, what's the word I'm looking for? We are very blessed to have a great social media team at UT. But and we get it. Not all social media teams can be quite as adept as the Tennessee social media team is. But holy cow, man, what an all-time L, to post still Bama.
Embarrassing.
After being Louisiana Monroe. Very embarrassing. But hey, again, it just makes for yet another amazing football weekend for Vols fans.
It really did.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Catching up on chat here. Let's see here. Matt S says USF needs to be ranked. I think he said UCF, but I think he meant South Florida. USF needs to be ranked. And Austin, I would agree with him because they beat Boise State, and then now they beat Florida. So there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to be.
They need to be ranked.
Yeah, they're going to be ranked next week. So Ryan says, is it true that Bama is lacking in NIL funds? Saw an article about it the other day. That would be interesting, Austin. They're not hurting for money in Alabama, so that would be interesting to me.
Yeah, I think the problem is no one wants to live there.
Yeah,
like no one actually wants to be there. The only reason they ever got recruits before is because they had Nick Saban as coach.
Yeah, that's pretty clear on that. Who wants to live in Tuscaloosa, Alabama?
No one,
indeed. Yeah, no one. No one indeed. Let's see here. Go damn Big Orange says I can't believe Mississippi State beat Arizona State. Yeah, people talking about that game. That's fun stuff. Matt SS, funny stat. Mississippi State hasn't beat a non-conference top 15 team since 1991. Wow, that's a rough stat. Interesting. And then Jay says USF Bulls. Yeah, the USF man, they're definitely going to be ranked after this week, no doubt. Shout out to Golish for sure. Great week and great win for him. Great 2 weeks, really, for him so far. And you love to see it. Taking down Billy Napier and the Swamp Dwellers down there in Florida in Gainesville. Folks, enjoy it while you can. It honestly couldn't get much better than this first 2 weeks of football.
See,
except
it got the cherry on top, Blake.
There is a cherry on top coming up. What were you going to say?
So, yeah, I mean, we'll get into the UCLA game in a second, but listen, we got to enjoy every football game, every football weekend while we can, man. And these first 2 weeks, no matter what happens the rest of the season, these first 2 weeks have been absolutely incredible.
Absolutely incredible indeed. And the cherry on top, Austin, as we were just mentioning, the cherry on top is, yes, folks, we have got to still bring you the breaking news that newsflash, Nico is still awful. He is still mid at best.
At best.
And again, the hate watch didn't stop with Florida. Folks, UCLA and Nico played UNLV. Now, UNLV is a little bit more known than Louisiana Monroe, but for those of you who may not know, that's the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Now, yes, I know what you're thinking. Does Nevada even exist? Yes, Nevada exists. The state is Nevada, not it's where Vegas is. It's not Las Vegas is not the state. Las Vegas is a city within the state of Nevada. And yes, it is a real state. And number two, yes, they do play football. And in fact, Austin, old Dan Mullen, speaking of Florida, Dan Mullen coaching over there, right? UNLV, Austin, UNLV, yet another supposed to be, this is cupcake week. It was supposed to be a cupcake, Austin, but the real cupcake is Mr. I Am Aliva and his Bruins. And they lost yet again, bro, and it didn't look pretty.
My first takeaway is, man, Nico played in front of fans this week. It just wasn't his fans. It was UNLV fans. And that's 1 point in UNLV's favor, Blake. They had significantly more fans than UCLA did in their home opener. They actually were making an impact on the game. So, yeah, I mean, listen, we were watching this game, and UCLA got down early, man. They were down big time, 23-3 at halftime, 30-13 at some point. But they came back. Nico started to lead the comeback. He started coaching up his defense and his running back, and they started to make a comeback. He pulled the old Tennessee. The defense and the running back started playing well, so they came back. Nico had a chance, Blake, at the end of the ball game, right? It's 30-23. Nico has an opportunity. Flip the narrative. He knows all the Tennessee fans are watching. Let's embarrass them all at home. He starts to drive. They start to drive. We're getting in the red area. He throws one over the middle. He doesn't see the linebacker. It gets tipped up. Ball game intercepted. UNLV wins. And UCLA is 0-2. Yeah, man, listen, we were joking in the offseason, Blake. We joked when this all went down. We looked at UCLA's schedule. We looked at it, and we said, you read out the schedule to me, and I said, L. Yeah. Now what is it, Blake? It's reality. It's just what's happening, man. They're losing every single game. I'm looking at the schedule and I'm like, I'm having a tough time finding 3 wins. I'm having a tough time doing it. 2-10, we literally joked. We said, man, they could go 2-10. That's on the table. 2-10 is absolutely on the table, and it might be best case scenario at this point, man. It might be best case scenario. They have Penn State in 2 weeks. They better get right. Or that game is going to be, it could be 100-0. I'm not even kidding. And if they continue going down this line, dude, what's going to happen? What's going to happen if they go 2-10? Deshaun Foster, the UCLA head coach, will be canned, okay, number one. And number two is we got to start putting bets in the chat. Where is Nico transferring next? Where is his next landing spot? And where will it be in the FCS? Like, he's going to pull the Cade McNamara route, and he's going to go find him a starting job, which he'll have to fight and earn for in the FCS. My question is, where do you all think that's going to be? Because he will not be in the Power Four, and he won't even be in the Group of Five. Where's he going to start next year in the FCS, Blake?
Let us know in the chat what you think, folks. Where will Nico transfer next? Because, hey, look, man, you know, it's all about the situation around him, right? That's why he left Tennessee, of course. You know, so he could go to the much better offense and much better defense, much better coaching situation at UCLA. But obviously, apparently, it's still not cutting it.
Well,
so where is he transferring next?
Let's not forget. I mean, Joe Klatt told us, Blake, it was the situation. Just believe us. It was the Tennessee situation. It had nothing to do with the $4 million that was offered and declined, and we told you to kick rocks. It had nothing to do with that. It was all the situation. That was the problem. So he chose to go play for UCLA, who is 0-2 and just lost to UNLV. But remember, it was the situation.
Yeah, clearly. Very, very clearly. That much is very clear. Nico had to get some better talent around him. And boy, did he not do that. Gonna on chat here. We got chats going off. Let's see here. Matt is saying, I don't know what I enjoyed more, Tennessee putting up 7-2 or watching Florida lose to USF. Exactly. It's just you can't get much better than this weekend of football. So, you know, hey, enjoy it while we can, okay? Regardless of what happens, this first 2 weeks, like Austin said, have been nothing short of amazing. And then Matt's laughing at Dan Mullen whipping up on UCLA. Gotta love it. Let's see here. Jay's talking about the logo, the UNLV logo. And then Lynn in the chat, welcome to Lynn. And he says, Lynn's a longtime listener, folks. We love Lynn. He says, Nico to Alabama. That would be absolutely hilarious. That would be a dream come true, Austin, honestly and truly.
It would. I would absolutely love that. And everybody's throwing in their predictions here. I love it. Keep throwing in your predictions on where Nico's going. Dakota says Cal Poly. That's not a bad option. Cal Poly, FCS school, California. And he'll be battling for that starting quarterback position. Battling.
He would be. Austin, though, unfortunately, Cal Poly does have a certain academic record to uphold. I'm not certain if Nico has the scores to be able to get into Cal Poly, brother. I'm just not sure he does. But I love the shout out on Cal Poly. Go Big Damn Orange, says Nico to Alaska State Community College. Austin, I hear up there in the Canadian League, Alaska State Community College, I hear they're a big powerhouse. So honestly, I mean, that could be a landing spot, but like you said, he's probably going to have to start a fight for that starting job because
it's going to be competition.
It's going to be a competition up there at Alaska State Community College. The Eskimos, I think they're called. So, yeah, I love it, folks. So let's see here. Matt says Nico to Long Island State University. Love that shout out. I don't know, man. Daniel says ULM. Hey, shoot. Maybe Nico can help turn around ULM and cut that 72-0 loss from the still Alabama Crimson Tide.
Let's not forget the board lost to Nico, so you never know, dude. I mean, you never know. Let's hope Bama doesn't have ULM on the schedule next year.
Yeah, better hope that's not the case. Indeed. Nate V saying Kent State, Nico to Florida, says Vol Guy. Love this. Yeah, Nate V says Blake's favorite, them Golden Flashes, Kent State. That's right. Hey, worst team in college football, they could definitely use the illustrious quarterback play that Nico would bring them.
From worse to somehow worse.
Yeah, from worse to somehow worse. Incredible. Jace thrown in his prediction for Tennessee versus Georgia. Tennessee 31, Georgia 21. Austin, this is a great time to plug. We do have a preview show for Georgia coming up on Tuesday.
We do.
So folks, tune in on Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for our Georgia preview. What are you laughing about here in the chat, Austin?
Ryan's predicting the McDonald's drive-through for Nico.
Yeah, that's probably the most realistic prediction. Yeah. Jay says Nico to ETSU. Honestly, Austin, I don't even think ETSU would take him because they have a decent quarterback already.
He'd be third string on ETSU.
Tennessee Junior says, what was that college Joey walked on to at first? That's the trade coming. Appalachia State, or I guess maybe even he's talking about the community college that Joey played at.
I think he just needs to go back to volleyball, man. I think football is just not his thing.
There you go. That might be it. Play volleyball and work the McDonald's drive-through line. That's where we'll leave it, folks. That's probably going to be the most accurate. Play volleyball and serve those McNuggets from the McDonald's drive-through line.
Just put the fries in the bag, Nico. Just put the fries in the bag, buddy.
Put the fries in the bag, bro. Not surprising, Austin. We'll see. Officially on the record, Vol Talk saying UCLA likely to go 2-10 this year. So we'll revisit it, man. We'll keep a pulse on it because it's gonna be funny stuff. They might pick up a win next week. I think they're playing. I can't even remember now, but they're
New
playing,
Mexico. But New Mexico played Michigan tough week 1, man. So don't look past that game, UCLA.
Obviously, they can't look past any games. So, but we'll keep a pulse on it, folks. Austin, any other thoughts on just this glorious weekend of football yet again? Any other final thoughts on any of this stuff?
No, some people were touching in it on the chat. Alabama lost week 1. Florida lost week 2. Georgia loses week 3, and we win. Who knows, man? Who knows? That's our focus now after this show, Blake. It's all Georgia. But listen, I got a PSA to the UCLA fans, the Florida fans, and the Alabama fans who we have outwardly called out on this podcast. Do not say anything if we lose to Georgia. It ain't the same, bro. You got your own problems. No. You lost to UNLV. You lost to 2-10 Florida State, and you lost to South Florida, dude. You got your own issues. If we lose to Georgia, who's got 5 stars as backups, I don't want to hear nothing from those fan bases. Y'all can stay quiet.
Exactly. It's all, and really, Austin, even our outlook on the season, even with a loss, it depends on how that game goes, right? And this is the big test, obviously. This is going to be the tone setter for the rest of the season, is how well can we play Georgia as they come into Neyland. And Austin, fresh off the press, you officially have tickets.
I do.
You're going to the game, right?
Breaking news, I will be at the game. I will let you all know. Hopefully, I will be on the field at some point. Now, last time I was at the Alabama game and we went on the field, Blake, me and Callie tried to stay back. We were getting trampled by the crowd, so we tried to find the open space in Neyland, and then eventually, once everything chilled out, we went down to the stadium. So that's what I'm hoping. I will be at the Georgia game. I will give you guys the in-stadium analysis, the in-person analysis, which some people believe means more. So we'll see, man. I'm excited to go to the game, and dude, listen, I'm ready, man. We get to finally see what this Tennessee 2025 team is really made of next week.
Exactly. So, folks, tune in. We, again, have our Georgia preview show. Will be coming up on this coming Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We will be doing that live preview of Georgia. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to have a fun time with that. And then, of course, as always, we'll be reviewing the game afterwards. But, folks, this has been a fun show. Again, enjoy this first 2 weeks of college football. It really, truly, Austin, couldn't have gone any better for us as Vols fans. So, folks, it's been fun. Enjoy it. As always, we appreciate you jumping in the chat If you're listening after the fact, drop us a comment. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Go follow us on Spotify. We have really loved the support y'all been giving us. It has been so awesome. We do this because of you all and for you all. We love the conversation that we have with you guys. We have fun, Austin. We have fun just chatting about this stuff. This is an unscripted podcast about all things volunteer sports. We're here to have fun, man. And go Big Damn Orange, even saying in the chat, it was a great show, funny AF and fun. And that's exactly what we're going for. So we love that feedback. Go Big Damn Orange. And we really appreciate everyone's support. Again, we will see you guys at the preview show for Georgia on Tuesday at 8:30 Eastern. Until then, as always, baby, go freaking Vols.
GBO.